In 5,
4,
3,
2,
1.
blast off.
Welcome to the podcast where a guy that watches movies reviews movies with a guy that doesn't even watch movies. Who's that?
That's me.
And that's me. I'm the guy that watches movies.
I watched the hell out of this movie
These
movies though.
We're reviewing multiple movies in one take.
It's basically one very large movie. Fear Street.
Fear Street?
Yeah, Fear Street, 1994.
Oh, shit.
Fear Street 1978, and Fear Street 1666.
Oh, snap, baby. Oh, shit.
What are you looking for?
A green bin. Yes, please, thank you. There's a bottle opener in that. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Jay's and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. Coming in clutch. But we watched the Fear. Well, I watched it when it came out.
Which was late June or July,
It
right?
was late. It was early July. The 1994 came out.
Mm-hmm.
The second one dropped on my birthday.
Happy birthday to you and it.
Yep. But
Netflix was like, "Yo, Tommy, we got you covered. Here's a here's a birthday present."
What's coming up?
Spooktober.
It's not Spooktober yet, but we're gonna say fuck it and give you guys 2 months of Spooktober. Can you handle that?
Double Spooktober.
Are you ready for that?
Spooktober got a DLC.
Because you got kind of last time you got towards the end of October, you got kind of drained out from the heart.
I didn't really like horror's not my thing, but
It's not.
after watching Fear Street, I'm really excited to watch a bunch. Like
I'm glad.
I loved these movies. Like,
because we got Pumpkin
usually
today.
we rate this shit at the
Do you
end,
want
but sure, I'll give this a 5 right off the bat. Like, I loved it.
He's gonna straight up give the whole series a 5. You're not gonna rank them
overall,
accordingly.
Up to 5, 5, and 5.
Damn,
I loved
that's
it. It was
awesome,
so good.
dude.
It's my
That
favorite.
makes me happy when you get passionate about something.
I liked it more than Scream.
That's random.
Yeah,
That's a really random.
Scream was my favorite horror one that we did last year, and
They're
this is
like
my favorite
Scream.
now. It's less funny, though.
It's less funny. It's less meta, but it's definitely trying to do that.
And it was really good though, and I have a lot of like questions and like things I've been wondering about this. I've literally been wanting to talk about this since I watched it. I've been asking everyone I know, have you watched Fear Street yet? Have you watched Fear Street yet?
Okay, so with that, can you first talk to me about the scenario of where you got introduced to these films?
I was hanging out with my buddy Matt. You know Matt. You guys don't know Matt.
Shout out, Matt.
Matt, you better be watching.
We love
Shout
you.
out. And he was watching the second one. He was watching
already
Fear
watched the
Street
first and then went for the
1978. Yeah, and I walked in right at the start of it. And I was like, I guess I'll watch it. I watched it and loved it. And then I was like, let's watch the third. And he's like, all right. And then we
Fuck
watched the
yeah.
third. And then the next day I rewatched the first. And then I watched the second again. And then just yesterday I watched the third again. So I've seen all of them except one twice. And then one I only saw once. And my first viewing was out of order. But it all still was like, because of watching it out of order, the big thing that stood out to me is the first two are good standalone movies. Like,
yeah, definitely.
You don't
totally,
need
dude.
anything else. But then 3, the first half, the 1666 is a good standalone movie. But then when it goes to 1994 part 2, there's a lot that doesn't make sense without part 1.
You didn't
like
see it.
Yeah, so like when I watched
Right.
it initially, the first thing I didn't understand was you know how they cut Sam's hand and put her blood and mixed it with neon like lights and put that in the guns and used it like a weapon.
That was cool.
That made no
I
sense
really
to
liked
me
that.
at the first view through, not having watched part 1.
Okay.
I was like, why? This doesn't. What are you doing? Why do they care about the blood? But once I learned what it was, it made a lot more sense. And it
did.
also explained to me. At first, I didn't really understand why there were multiple killers during certain instances, because like for the beginning of part 1 or the beginning of 1994,
Right.
there's one killer who kills like 7 people or something. And then in part 2, there's just Thomas Slater, which is our love child.
Our love child, Thomas
Slater.
Zade Slater. Thomas D. Hart, Zade Slater. I fucking love that.
I thought it was hilarious.
this movie was made for the podcast.
It was. They were like,
fucking great.
and the one with Thomas Slater came out on your birthday, dude.
That was too lit. That was too lit.
But so and that movie only had one killer for the majority until the like final scene where they kill the fuck out of the sisters.
Yeah, they
and there were
went
4 for
ham,
that.
man.
Yeah, they decimated them. Which that brings me to another talking point when I finish this one. Oh, there's so much in my head.
There's
about
so
this movie.
much, dude.
But-
Let's slow down a little bit.
I didn't understand though why that in that instance there were multiple killers, and then during part 3 there were multiple killers. But what I came to the conclusion of, which I think was pretty understandable after watching them, is that the killers come for the people whose blood have touched the bones of Sarah Fuhr.
Yeah.
And those killers,
they're reincarnations of people that touched the blood of Sarah Fuhr, right? Like, because, like, on her list. And it ended up not even being... We'll talk about
They're
that.
like a reincarnate of the killers that...
Yeah, they're like that spilled the blood of people that were touched by Sarah Fuhr. Or anyone in their path.
Wait, what do you mean?
Isn't that who they were targeting? People that touch the blood
whose
of
blood?
Sarah Fuhr?
Yeah, because I think they would target them because they don't want anyone to find out the truth, and you find out the truth by.
It's weird because you watched 1978 first. It's not that weird because that one doesn't go back, but then you went to 3 and that one goes back.
3 didn't make too much. I mean, it made sense, but
And
there
then
was
you watched
stuff
it again
missing. But
after you saw
then
the movie.
after I watched 1, I just watched the whole series through.
Let's go to 94.
All right, first one.
First one. Second one. Or you watched this one last, right?
Yeah, but first one.
First one. Oh, man. So the first scene is fucking awesome. The reason why I like the first scene.
In the mall, right?
Yeah, the mall.
Yeah, when the girl
It's
gets fucking
so
massacred.
90s. They got the atmosphere perfect. They got the mall. They got the clothes.
The killer was
lights.
reminiscent of the Scream movies too. Actually,
That's the point. I think that's kind of the point because the 90s horror. If someone goes up to you and says, well, not you because you're not the big movie guy, but if someone
Yeah.
goes up to me and says 90s horror, first movie I'm thinking about is fucking Scream.
and
Because
that's like,
that is the one that won the 90s. It
Mm-hmm.
won because it was the best.
And so
Sorry,
you
Candyman.
think they did that intentionally? They picked that costume to be reminiscent of.
Of course. There was definitely Scream influence in that one. And with that, they had you probably don't know who she is, but the first girl is Uma Thurman, or Uma Thurman's daughter.
I don't know who that is.
She's in her name's Mia Hawke. She's
Don't know who that is
Uma
still.
Thurman is in Kill Bill, Pulp Fiction. We'll watch movies with her in it. But she's in Stranger Things.
I was told a lot of the cast
Yeah,
is from Stranger Things, which is a Netflix original,
She-
right?
Yeah.
So it was just like their
It's-
best
it's-
actors. They're like, hey, you guys want to make a lot more money doing another cool project?
Yeah, sure. But she's the one everybody knows because of her mom and dad are both actors, and she's kind of like I feel like she was the biggest name in these movies, and they killed her first. They killed her ass first, 1990 style.
And then had 2 more movies she
Which
wasn't even a
kind
part
of
of.
pissed me off because wasn't
That a Scream thing too? Actually,
Yes, it was because they did Drew Barrymore that way.
I remember it. We talked about that because I had no idea who
Exactly.
she was either.
Which is fucking insane. But that's how they did kind of do that. They say, okay, we'll take the biggest name that we got, kill her first. And the 90s one, like typical 90s, because honestly, the 90s was the generation about fuck you. It was just fuck you. So they basically just did that. But it kind of disappointed me. Like I was texting my man Jason, and I was like, damn, why'd they kill Mia Hawke like that, man?
I wanted to see more of her.
I always want to see more of her. She does great. She has so much potential.
I think it's a cool concept because it's
It
like
is.
you use that big name and it brings people in, and then you kill them, but like you get to give more light to these other stars, and a lot of them are like
Totally.
19, 20, 21,
Totally.
so it's like that might be big for them. Like,
Totally.
These films could do wonders for them. I'm
And
sure like
honestly,
Stranger Things
this
did wonders
film
for them
did
too.
not give a fuck, man.
I loved how gory they were. They
all
show
are
you
gory as
everything.
fuck. Which was surprising because I don't know if you know anything about Fear Street, but Fear Street is based on a novel written by R.L. Stine. It's like a series of novels by the guy that did the Goosebumps books.
Really?
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
it is cool, but it's like more mature Goosebumps. You kind of see that though, right?
Why is that? I haven't watched Goosebumps or read it. I don't know what it is really.
That's fine. That'll be all right. But It's like more mature Goosebumps, which is fucking awesome that they did such a good job with it. And the thing is about 94, it was way more fucking gorier than I thought. Because when I saw R.L. Stine, I thought I was going to get a Twilight movie.
Really?
Yeah, I thought I was going to get some teen shit, which it is. But in the sense of that 90s horror was teen horror, but they didn't do it like 2000s.
What do you define like
Twilight.
teen horror as? Like horror that is storyline driven by teens or for teens or both?
Yes.
So both?
Yes. But the 90s, that was the thing. Kevin Williamson, he was a film writer, and he kicked it. His first one was fucking Scream, and it fucking blew up. And when Scream blew up, everyone wanted to hire this man. So the 90s had The Faculty, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream, Halloween H2O. Even Halloween did it. There's Michael Myers' 90s teen horror. And it's great. This guy was fucking killing it.
You were a teen in the 90s, right?
No, I'm not that old. No, I was 96. I was 7.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I was 7 years old. So
just
in
shat on
94,
you
I
then,
was
my
5. Huh?
I just shat on your age then. My
It's fine.
bad.
I hung out with a lot of older people because my older brother. I didn't really hang out with anybody my age. There was one guy I hung out my age. His name's Stefan. Shout out Stefan. He actually listens sometimes.
Hell yeah, my
I've
man.
known this dude since fucking 3rd grade, bro.
I hope he's
What a
loving
great
the shout out
guy.
right
He's a
now.
good guy. He's my man.
90s horror.
90s horror, baby. He used to beat my ass at NFL 2K. 100-0.
Get shit on.
Right. But one thing about this movie was I was so surprised at the gore and the sex. So much sex.
Not in one so much, right?
Really?
I think one had
There was the scene
the
with,
lesbian couple made out a little bit.
They
And-
almost went to town.
And they were doing a little
Almost.
finger action. There was no
Yeah, they almost
no
went to
frickin'
town,
though.
and then the kid said he went to Pound Town too.
Yeah, and
So
then
he
the one-
fapped in the he
Yeah, the
jacked
one
off
guy
in the
jerked
shaft.
off.
I liked how he was just cool with it. He was
like,
cool with
"Wait,
telling everybody.
You guys did it too?
Yeah.
They all had like a simultaneous nut. Good for them.
That's kind of weird. But my man, the little nerd chubby kid got it.
Yeah, he was
with the cute
macking.
girl.
He was macking.
Hell yeah, that was awesome. He
But,
was macking, like he did it real nice because like he didn't go overboard. He didn't like hey, you know. He like threw a little shot there,
He
and
was
then
like
a couple
actually
hours
like
later,
a nice
said,
guy, but not
like
like
reminded
the,
her that he was interested like every couple hours. That was smart. Because when time came down and they were gonna die, she was like, "Hey, this guy's into me. He's not that bad. He's pretty
Let's
fucking
let him
smart."
into me.
Yeah, there we go. And
But,
then the gore, you're right. When you said the gore, man, that shit was fucking brutal. And they didn't give a fuck who they fucking killed.
Everyone died.
That
in
pissed me
crazy
off.
Ways.
I was like, no, not that one.
Which ones are you most
All of
sad
them,
about?
dude. I didn't want anybody to
Bro.
die, but they gotta die.
In regards to sex, there was a lot more in 78.
Well,
And then
duh,
there was-
because it's like Friday the 13th.
And then there was, I think,
This is
none
something you
in,
don't. You're not really.
Part 3.
You've never really seen the Friday the 13th films in general. Like
Who's the killer in that one?
Jason.
Yeah, I want to watch those because of the photo shoots. I
Right,
wanna
you'd
understand
be able
the
to act
killer that
better.
yeah.
Dude, the thing is, you're a decent Jason, but you got Michael Myers on fucking point.
Hell yeah.
You got that, and you've watched the beginning of that one.
And I've seen the trailers now in
You saw the trailer?
There's
Doesn't it look
trailers
good?
going on at Regal.
Does it look
Yeah,
good?
I want to see it. It looks really good.
It's a sequel. The first one came out in 2018. It's just called Halloween.
oh, sick.
I'll explain that to you later off camera, off mic.
But in regards to the gore too, I think every kill was visualized except one, which was kind of cool. In
That's true, that's
78,
true.
There was a kill where the 3 Shady Side people were in a cabin because they got trapped during Color Wars, and
they were really
Sunnyside-
into that shit.
Yeah, it seemed really fun.
It
I would love to
did.
be a part of that
Rivalries are
camp.
always cool. Like in my school, we had one. It was I went to Greencastle, and then our rival was Mercensburg. The issue is we just always beat them, so it's kind of boring.
That you were Sunnyside then.
Yeah, we were. They were richer. I'm not saying I grew up rich, but I was like the poor kid in the rich school.
But then he lights a match to see what's happening, and then
Right.
he gets killed, but he drops the match, and that's the only kill you don't really see.
I like that they cut kills sometimes. Like,
yeah, I liked that they did it there because of how gruesome every other one was. It made that one a lot more impactful.
People don't realize that sometimes when you don't see shit, it's better.
Because you have to
You have the
visualize
imagination.
it. But this, I liked getting to just see it.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
both are good. You can't just do one. I feel like in order for the one to be good, you have to do the other. You know what I mean?
There's a dichotomy to
Yeah,
it
exactly.
There's like
Dude,
a
94 was
ratio.
fucking awesome. When I watched this movie, I was expecting some B-movie bullshit where it was kind of good. But I was feeling it. It honestly, it set me up. It was like atmospheric Scream with its own story.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't get too story-driven to the point where you couldn't follow it. But it also didn't get too basic because they did the basic thing. Like, this is going to be a basic 94 horror film. But with story. With good story that you can follow. That's why I liked it so much. Because it was in the middle. It had great story, but it also had great just killing. You know what I mean? It was pretty fucking cool.
And there's enough story that has you invested to want to watch the next one.
Definitely. And then they had the dude, 94 is like, I was 5, but like the 90s from 90 whatever to 99, like AOL was that shit. The instant messenger he was on talking to his email girl.
Yeah, that's before me.
That was the fucking thing. Every day after school, I'd go home. My aim was Tommy 23692. It was Tommy because that's my name. 23 because I was really into Jordan. 69 because every fucking 10, 8, 6
every
boy,
every age range,
every age boys
from
like
1
I'm
to
trying
69.
to 69. And then I wanted to I just put a 2 in there because I didn't want to make it obvious that I was just Jordan in 69. So I was like, let's try to make it like I'm not trying to do that.
This will confuse them. This will throw them off.
And then I made one when I was
older. You were
older.
trying to 69 Jordan. I get it now.
Nah, bro. I mean, he's the GOAT, but I don't think I'd do that. If you want to pay me, maybe.
You'd throat the goat for some money.
Shut the fuck up.
For $2. That's what the 2 was for.
Oh my god.
But the movies were crazy, dude. And there was something that came to my mind that I just like spaced. Oh yeah, there was one of the coolest things I thought in regards to how they went was so 1 was a really like independent movie, 2 was a pretty independent movie, and then 3 ties everything together. And you know the part where they go into the past for the first half of 3?
Yes.
There was a lot of things that struck me right away during that.
Yeah.
One that I thought was like really cool was how characters from both films were actors for that one also, and that they had a lot of ties to the characters we met already.
Yeah,
it
they
was
did.
kind of cool. Showed how like history repeats because like the protagonist Dina, I
Yeah.
believe her name was, and her girlfriend Sam, the characters they played, Sarah Fier and whatever Sarah Fier's girl's name was, had to endure similar things, and it was cool that she happened to be the one that
Dina? Is that it?
Yeah, Dina.
Yeah, Dina.
And she, it was just cool that those two characters were going through something in their timeline that also matched what Sarah Fier was going through.
Totally.
And it also, another thing that reminds me that I was thinking of that I thought was kind of cool was in the 1666, when bad stuff starts happening and they assume it's witchcraft, right? Everyone starts thinking about like what they could have done that could have caused this witchcraft, which is kind of a cool reflection on humanity.
It is. Not a
When
lot of people
something-
do that anymore.
When something unexplainable started happening, people were looking inside trying to figure out what they were doing wrong. And
I feel like religion does that though.
yeah,
It does that to a point. Like you have to fear God.
mm-hmm.
And like when you fear God, you reflect on your. I feel like that is a tool to reflect on yourself because I feel like a lot of people don't reflect on themselves, and that's a good way to do it.
is by feeling like something's bad happening, I could be at fault somehow with my actions.
Yeah, because not a lot of people think that way anymore.
Mm-hmm. But they did think that way in 94. Some of them did, but others didn't. Like, so Sam, Dina's girlfriend, switched schools and tried going to Sunnyside to try to escape everything from Shady Side and be someone she wasn't. And so I feel like she was looking at herself and was like, all right, everything just keeps going wrong. It's got to be something I'm doing. So let me completely change everything I'm doing, be someone I'm not. I'll be out of a relationship with my girlfriend and get a boyfriend.
Exactly.
And like switch sides of town, but it didn't fix anything. Things actually ended up escalating worse. And the same thing happened in 66 where everyone, like, the girls thought, like, they sinned. They're gay. They kissed. This must be
felt bad.
why everything's happening.
They thought they were going to be hanged.
And
she said there's no way that it could be wrong if it feels so right, which is cool, which is right. You're right.
And they, it was, I believe, Dina that said that.
Yeah, Dina
Sarah
said it.
Fier.
Yep.
And that is, like, another cool parallel between the two characters, Sarah and Dina, where
exactly.
She was the perfect character to get to put the hand and the body together and get to be there because she was going through such a similar thing. And I thought, do you have anything to say before I keep? I do
actually. I have a lot to say about this shit. We have a lot to say. It seems like you don't have a lot to say about 1978.
Oh, I could talk for days on that one too. It's just I think that when you hit 66 is when all the big points come out.
94 and 66 are directly correlated, where 78 fills in the gaps.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because 78, I really fuck with 78. I fuck with
That's my
Ziggy,
favorite
right?
of them.
Ziggy?
Yeah. Dude, I had a huge crush on Ziggy. I thought she was cute as hell.
You really did?
Yeah.
She's great in Stranger Things, dude.
I might have to watch it.
She's great. She's in season 2 and 3.
I might have to consider watching it.
Dude, it's the best show on TV.
Really?
It's a really good show.
I'll consider it. It's in my
definitely
log.
seen it already.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, everyone has.
Except me.
Well, you don't really do it.
Yeah.
You don't really do that.
But
Which is fine. This one's more beery.
There was one thing in
Pumpkin.
I'll have to try it.
It's pumpkin.
There was one big thing in 78 that didn't make sense to me until 66 that I thought was really cool was
definitely
the final scene, right? I don't know if it was the final scene, but towards the end when Ziggy and her sister get fucking brutally massacred.
Oh, I know what you're about to say.
There was no way that CPR saved her.
Yeah, because she was bleeding out.
Yeah, there's no way that saved her, and I was like,
I thought she was dead, and I didn't think that
she was dead. She did die.
No, she did die, but I thought she was like gonna stay dead, and her sister was going to be the girl that's in the beginning because she doesn't look like Ziggy at all.
Yeah, that actress.
That is a problem I had with it. The adult actress looked nothing
like her
Ziggy.
at all. I agree.
And the issue with that is I don't think they could have found anyone that looks like Ziggy.
That's fair.
She is a unique looking female.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I couldn't name someone off the top of my head.
But at least give her red hair. God damn, they didn't do anything. But, I was like, dude, this bitch looks nothing like her.
I thought it was a plot hole that he was able to just bring Ziggy back with CPR, but then 66 into 94 explained it because he gets what he wants. He's part of the lineage that sacrificed to the devil.
He was the guy that summoned the devil.
Yeah,
he was the one that they were looking for, but they just... Why do they always blame witchcraft on females? I feel like that's an ongoing thing, that it's never it's rare. It's never, but it's rarely a guy that's being...
I think it's due to the time period at which, like the
if
Salem witch trials were in the 1600s.
A man doesn't want them to do, it's witchcraft.
But like
I feel like that is
it's like an easy, at least in this film, it's like one. It could have been anyone they blame, but I think she was perfectly set up to be the scapegoat because of like prior events that happened where they believed that being gay could be the reason this went down, and Thomas saw what happened.
Or as a result of her devil summoning, that she became gay.
Yeah,
something like more like that.
No matter what it is, though, like they had there's people's stories that would line up to support that she had committed.
She was
a sin,
the witch,
and then
it was easy to set her up.
Yeah, she was easy to like blame, and he was also in a very bad spot there. But that like
we skipped a lot.
That's another really cool tie to the characters. Where in '78, Nick Good had a crush on Ziggy, and Ziggy was the one that was the protagonist and was the one trying to fix the witchcraft, but he was the witch.
But she didn't know that. He was charming and he was the do-gooder. Yeah, he was the sheriff's son.
And
it caught me off guard.
Yeah,
when I watched it, I was like, okay, so Nick Good's trying to like mac on the only girl worth it in this movie, and which is fair, but at the same time, he's a little sus. There's something sus about him.
There was a line that he said that made it seem like he was sus. I started thinking about it after 3. When they were in the art and science area, he said, I've let too many, or something about, I've caused too many people to die.
I'm not going to let you die.
Yeah, and then Ziggy's like,
And,
what
like,
are you
he
talking
had
about? You
nothing
didn't
in
kill
it.
them?
Yeah, you were like, you didn't kill them. It's like, oh, actually, I did.
Yeah. But what I was going to say, though, in regards to it is that the guy that committed the witchcraft was very into the girl that was trying to solve the witchcraft. And in 1666, it was the same way. Solomon had a little crush thing on Sarah Fier after his wife had passed away, because Sarah Fier was the one that was like taking care of him and bringing him food and stuff, and like he loved that girl. And,
yeah, he did.
But he, at the end of the day, threw her under the bus the same way Nick did, where he wouldn't agree with her story because it.
Dude, I thought 1666 was gonna be bad.
Really? I thought it was phenomenal.
Here's the reason why. So, there's 94, which I knew was going to be a 90s slasher scream-esque film. I knew 1978 was going to be a Friday the 13th camp counselor-esque film. 1666, the reputation of witch films and horror is really bad. They're boring, and they end up being really shitty. The Village, Blair Witch. Well, you hate Blair Witch.
Yeah, that one was fucking
Blair
garbage.
Witch Project, and The Crucible. And this one was not boring at fucking all.
Do you think if it was by itself it would have been, or
I
was
think
it the
they should
extra
have went
detail?
on longer.
Do you think the extra detail caused it to be better? The fact that
I don't know what did it.
We had a connection to all the characters already, and we also knew kind of what we were looking for in a sense, because the plot is kind of understood. At least we believe at the time that Sarah Fier is the witch, and so we're already invested in figuring out how she became the witch, what ensued. And so the whole time we have that to look forward to.
So you're saying that the other movies drove the witch movie to become better than those previous movies, because
maybe not better
you were
than
already digested when you saw Sarah Fier, when you saw all these people, you were like, oh damn, this is the one, and it made you kind of focus more on the story than, not really focus more on the story than something else, but you already had a connection with the movie going into this movie.
Yeah, and so comparing it to another witch film would be kind of hard. Or to me, if I haven't watched many besides Blair Witch, which I didn't like.
I honestly
but
think if 1666 was a standalone witch film, it would have been the best ever made.
It would have needed
Straight
a lot
the
more
fuck
detail,
up.
though.
No, honestly, I
had to
think
be a lot longer.
For some reason, I went into these thinking that they were going to be 3 separate films. And when I went into 16, I knew they were connected, but I didn't think it was going to get like that, where they were going to literally come back and then go back and then link them again. When I started watching 1666, I was like, God damn, they're doing a good fucking job with this. Because witch films are fucking boring. Movies from the old days are fucking boring. They're boring. And The Crucible is good. Like, the book was good, but the movie was boring. Like, all these movies were boring during the Salem witch thing. That's what it's based on, kinda.
Loosely.
It was like a hysteria thing.
I did some research on it a little just to see.
We went there.
It's in a different location. This was in Ohio, and I believe
Salem's in
Massachusetts. Yeah,
I've been there.
And this is also 30 years prior. So
we went there Halloween 5 or 6 years ago.
What if this, I don't know if the Salem witch trials exist historically in
it
the.
Did happen.
No, I mean in the Fear Street universe.
Oh,
but if
probably
they did,
not.
this
Probably
could have
not.
been pre.
There was no internet, so they wouldn't know even if it did.
Yeah.
There was just. They just blamed things that weren't the norm on witchcraft.
Well, in this sense, it was witchcraft. It was just
it
not by who
was,
they thought.
It just wasn't who they thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
Which was Nick Good. No, I'm kidding.
His lineage.
Right. His heritage. And you just didn't think it was Nick Good because in the beginning of 1978 when they introduced him, they kind of introduced him in the way where Ziggy's this rebel, fuck everyone's out to get me, which they kind of are, but that's because you bring off that attitude.
No, I don't think it's because she brings off that attitude. It's because Shady Side. Like literally everyone is out to get them because they're destined to a life of shit.
But some of the things she did do though, like she was just like, yeah, I did that. but they were trying to kick her out. Like she's not.
They always describe it as a weird aura bringing them down, which
it was a curse.
Yeah, it literally was a curse. In real life, if she was saying that, it'd be like, oh, I mean, like
you're crazy.
Yeah,
or you're just saying that because you're.
It's an
poorer,
excuse.
You're poor.
But like, and that there was a genuine like force that made Shady Side a lot worse. The murder capital, they called it. In their universe, it has the most amount of murders per capita. Yeah.
Wow.
And then the Sunny Side is the perfect place. They've had a 0%
So there's
crime
no
rate.
Baltimore?
This is like Baltimore, Chirac,
this is like
polymerization
Baltimore
together.
if it was suburban.
And had a lot more serial killers.
Oh, that's why, because of the serial killer.
Lots of serial killers.
I feel like every 20 years, some mass in this.
It was less than 20 years.
It was like every
5 to
6?
10. Yeah,
every 6 some years, someone goes on a rampage, and this kind of brings me to it. This is a small town. Why are people moving here if this shit keeps happening? It's almost a guarantee that it's happening.
I think there was a way that it was described.
Like we all forget? Like a lot of people forgot. The
Shade-
nerd had to bring the articles up for some of these motherfuckers and school them.
They described Shady Side as a place that, like, I guess you go and there's nowhere else for you to go. Like, it's a place for outcasts.
I guess so. That makes sense.
And then Sunnyside is the exact opposite, where there's a 0% crime rate. They thrive financially, but then they feel like held down by these Shady Side scum that live next door to them.
Which everyone, when someone says that out loud, people roll their eyes like, you know, it's your fault that you're in the situation you're in. But in reality, there was a fucking curse, and it wasn't their fault.
Yeah.
There was something out to get them, and that was Nick Good.
Yeah, and like
I keep saying it was Nick Good because Nick Good,
his lineage.
Nick Good wasn't in 1666, but he was in the other two.
It was his lineage.
So his lineage, not only, I feel like he had the most impact on that lineage because he survived that. Like he was in most of the time.
Well, just that we've seen though, because he had family members between 66 and to his existence that have been like carrying on this curse.
So let's go to 1978 because we talked about singularities. We're basically going to talk about them individually, and in between we'll be like, oh, we like that. Oh, we like that. What did you? Since you don't really have a prior history to what's it called? You don't have a prior history to Friday the 13th. Like Camp Counts. You work as an actor in my horror shoots. You kind of know the atmosphere, but you don't watch the movies.
Yeah, I haven't watched them yet. But
so what did you feel about 1978 as a standalone film?
It was phenomenal, dude. I loved it.
You loved it.
The gore was amazing. I felt like actually really attached to a lot of the characters very quickly too.
Which is weird because a lot of the Friday the 13th films, the good ones, let's not talk about the good ones, but we'll talk broadly. Mm-hmm. There's no connection with the actors. These are disposable naked teenagers that are fucking smoking weed, which they did. Not as much as I thought they were going to, though.
They did in this one, but you also still like had sympathy for these people.
Yeah, they gave some character development, which is cool because the good Friday the 13th films gave you that character development. So I feel like it was a good cliche because they did it on purpose. They gave you that atmosphere on purpose because that's the setting that they wanted to do because they were just inspired by those films. Mm-hmm. But they fucking nailed it.
Very well.
They did nail it. There are some issues that I feel like that there should have been more of those stereotypes.
Like what?
But they like
just more
in
weed,
Friday
more
the 13th, he's killing camp counselors because they were too busy fucking, smoking weed and partying, and let him drown.
This one, that is fueled by his like reasoning for killing this. Like they were focused on the Shady Siders specifically.
No, I know. I just think we got like a couple of those scenes. I feel like they really tried with the story a lot instead of because 94 there was a good balance between story and scenery. Like there was times where the story didn't matter as much. It was just killing people.
Well, that happened in this, I think, too.
I
It
feel
just
like it
was a
was-
lot of kids that got killed.
There were a lot of kids that got killed. I just feel like 78 was really trying to bridge the gap between 66 and 94, which it did.
Gave us a lot
I'm
of
not
details
saying it
that
was
we
bad
needed.
for that. It's just I would have liked seeing more Friday the 13th-esque things in it, which is cool because the killer had a potato sack,
Yeah.
kind of. Before Jason in the movies, before Jason gets the hockey mask, he has a potato sack over his
So that's like a
It's
paying
an homage.
homage.
The
to
whole
him.
the whole thing's an homage to Friday the 13th. You know it.
I
which-
don't know it, but y'all.
Yeah, you don't know it, but everybody else does. People that have watched movies before. No, I'm kidding. I mean, they're old. Why would you watch them? Like off the top, like randomly in a situation that you were in. Why would you?
Like,
watch
hey
them?
guys, let's
Watch Friday the 13th Part 4. You know.
Yeah, I'm just
Let's
really
watch naked
feeling it.
teenagers smoke weed and have sex and then die.
Yeah.
Woo! Or why don't we just do that? Minus the
Yeah.
die part.
Why not?
What?
You gotta die to live. They
Right.
say.
We're living to die. But so you loved 78.
Yeah, I thought it was really
what were
good.
your favorite things about it?
I thought it was really cool, like how compelling the characters were. It was like,
They did go in deep. You know what I really loved? This whole time, Ziggy's sister is trying her best to be the perfect person.
the exact same as Sam in 94.
Kinda.
Dina's girlfriend?
Yes, kinda. Sam was not trying to be the perfect person. She was just trying to move on. Because she moved, her girlfriend broke up with her. I don't think she was personally herself was changing.
I think she moved to try to escape Shady
Well,
Side and
everyone
what
does.
it was.
Yeah, but everyone does that. Everyone moves there to escape. It seems like it's the closest thing.
And it's literally paradise in comparison.
In comparison, yes. I don't think it's like fucking Chicago, but they acted like it was. They
Murder
acted like it was
capital of
that
the
bad.
world.
Yeah, they acted like it was that bad. So she tried so hard because she wanted out of Shady Side, right? Shady Side's the bad one. But her old friends, they're not friends anymore because she straight up changed her image. Ziggy's sister, what is her name?
Cindy.
She changed her whole persona, and she acted like the whole time, like even with her old friends. Hey, remember when you weren't a snitch?
Yeah.
Remember when
They
you had
kept
fun?
digging that and then never explained it till
Remember
towards the
fun?
end.
Remember fun? We have fun. Remember that? Remember we smoke weed and have sex? Remember having fun? Like, remember when you weren't perfect? Remember when we just didn't care? And she wouldn't break. She wouldn't break. She was like, like acted like it was beneath her. Like fun was beneath her. And then at the end, when everything's put up on the fucking table. Like when you think you're going to die because you're in a situation that this motherfucker's going to cut the fuck out of you.
With an axe.
And you are in a room with just these people that really, really know the real you. The real you comes out on the table. And then she just starts dumping her shit and saying the reason why she did that because she did not want to be in Shady Side her whole fucking life.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to do the things that she thought that she could do to get the fuck out.
Which makes sense.
Which
too,
makes
like,
sense, but it wasn't the real her, and everyone knew it except her. But when all else fails, the real you, the subconscious mind comes out. And I like that. That was fucking cool.
A cool
And
way
then
to
she just gets
personify
gutted.
it.
No, I'm kidding. Then she just gets gutted after that.
It was sad when her friend got fucking axed.
Oh, man.
I thought
the
she
axe
meant-
is such a brutal fucking weapon.
And they visualized it pretty
They
well.
don't give a. They didn't give a fuck, which was surprising. I thought R.L. Stein was going to be like, nah, don't do that. They were just
Especially
like,
in
fuck it.
It's more crazy in 78, I think, because there was like more kids that got killed.
Oh,
Like, in
yeah. The teenagers, they're camp counselors. Teenagers got to get killed sometimes, dude.
No, it wasn't just counselors.
Like little kids?
Yeah, there were kids dying. Like, I think the camp probably ranged from 9th to 12th grade. I
Yeah,
think it
probably.
was a high school one.
Yeah, because Ziggy wasn't a counselor. She was.
Yeah, she was a camper, but last year camper, and
the
Nick
thing is
Good
about
was
Friday
first
the
year.
13th, you see none of the campers. It's usually either before campers get there or after. You never see campers. You just see counselors.
I think they couldn't do that in this one because a lot of half the counselors are Sunnyside, and Sunnyside can't be killed by these guys.
Yeah, true.
So there wouldn't be enough people to die.
And we need that kill count.
Yeah,
We do.
he's going for a Moab.
I love
25.
78 too. I love 94. I just wanted to love 78 a little bit more.
See, if you rate it, is it like a 4 independently?
They're all 4s.
They're all 4s across the board.
66 might be a 5 if it was standalone.
If it didn't have 94 Part 2.
Yeah. And then 1666. I had low expectations for this one. I had high expectations for 94, or I kind of knew what I was getting into with 94 because there's no interpretation when you see the year 1994. You're like, you're going to get a Scream-esque. Even though I knew what I was going to get with 78, I didn't know if they were going to pull it off that well. But they did. They pulled it off great. In 1666, I was like, this is going to be boring. I thought it was going to be boring, and it was fucking awesome.
I agree.
The
Well, I never
dialogue
agreed
was
that I thought it would be
awesome.
boring, but
There was no boring parts. The dialogue was awesome. The public humanity, like when that guy was making advances towards Sarah Fear, she humiliated him in front of everyone.
Yeah.
That was good. Like all those scenes were amazing, and it actually kind of felt like you were in that time period.
like it was that immersive.
It was
to
pretty
you.
immersive. I thought it was.
One cool thing I thought too was that since they used the same actors in 66, it was really a good showcase of their acting capabilities because
great.
you
Yeah, because
know
they
that's-
have to fucking flip shit.
Yeah, you're now hearing them act as if they're in a 1600s period
They
film.
went from the 90s. to
Yeah, and they kill it.
fucking-
Like that is a beautiful resume for every actor and actress in this film. Is to
I can
just
flip flop.
be like, hey, this is what I was able to do for this time period. This is me acting as if I'm in the 1600s.
And it has a buzz. Like it's not like that. This isn't popular on Netflix.
Dude, it's gonna be more popular when I'm done talking
It's
about
so
it.
good.
I tell everyone to watch
It's
this shit, dude.
so good.
I've probably told 15 people since I watched it to watch it, and it hasn't even been a week.
I've been
watch
thinking
it.
about
If you're
something.
watching this for some reason you haven't watched it, watch that
Watch
shit.
Fear Street.
So fucking good. What were you
Watch-
thinking about though?
I've been thinking about this the last couple of days because I rewatched them for you.
Mm-hmm.
I watched 94 first, and I loved 94. And then I started thinking, like, once it started getting to 1666, when it goes to part 2 in the middle of that film, this really could have been a miniseries.
Like a TV show?
Yeah.
That I think Matt actually brought that up. That it was it Matt? Someone brought it up that it was about the length of like a season of a show.
It should have been a miniseries.
I think I like it better as films.
Do you
'cause,
really?
I don't want to watch a bunch of
issue is
episodes.
the third one I have. Like, they probably should have made the third one a little longer, maybe 10, 20 minutes, and then make part 2 of 1994 standalone film.
Is
But
that
with-
because of how
with
much you
four-
like 66?
With 4, no, it's because it's not 66. It's 66 and 94 part 2.
So it just feels like a misleading title almost.
Oh, almost. Like, I just didn't think that. Like, honestly, I watched it with Amber and Sarah, and Sarah's into witch stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, if you're into witch stuff, we should try 1666. And if you like this one, watch the others. And then once it cut to 94, I was like, well, damn, we can't watch this anymore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it literally
And after
goes.
watching the first 2, you probably expected it to be a standalone film.
Yeah,
like the
I
others
would
could have
have
been.
liked like any kind of like you could have watched these in any order. I would have liked that. Like if you could have watched 1666, then 1978, and then 94, and then watch 94 part 2. That would have been cool. It would have just been cool, but I feel like they wanted to do a trilogy because trilogies are iconic. But I low-key think they're going to make another one.
No, they set it up. They set it up.
Definitely
for a
set it up
sequel.
for another one for modern, like now. Did you see at the end?
Yeah, when he snatched the book up.
When he's selling electronics, and he's
Wait, when who is?
I don't know who he is. The guy in 94 part 2 where they say, hey, we're gonna go kill some cops, And then he's like, all right.
Yeah,
And
the one that he met in jail and helped
Yeah,
him
yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
paperclip.
And he framed him. The cop actually framed him for the spray paint.
Yeah.
And he found that out. He's in another sitcom called You're the Worst. You should check it out. It's
I haven't heard of that one before.
It's on Hulu.
But what did they do that indicate? He was selling electronics at the school.
He was selling electronics
That's when
outside
he
the
met-
school,
that's
and he
when,
was trying to make an iPod.
Yeah.
What he was doing. It's still 1994. Remember that discs are new. CDs are the new thing. So, like, thinking of having a device that could put all your songs on it in your pocket is like,
unheard of.
And that
girl comes out to help him, who happens to be.
she starts speaking like she's like, "Well, you need a flash solid state drive in order to do something like that." That was not a thing back then. Not only was it not a thing back then, it was not discussed back then. So she's from the fucking future, dude. There's no way that she's not from the future. She's from right now. And they're going to do something with right now. I guarantee.
That's what made you think it?
Oh, yeah. She said you need a solid state drive.
That was the girl that he was talking to on AOL, too.
There wasn't even more than fucking... There's no way there were computers with more than like 512 megs of RAM back then.
I don't know what any of that means, I'll be honest.
There's no way they had solid state drives back then. There's no way. They're not new now, but they were new like 5 to 10 years ago.
Did you catch the part when she signed his cast that she was the girl he was talking to on AOL?
Was she?
Yeah. Go rewatch that part. That was a girl that he had been talking to the whole time.
But I feel like she's a future version of her. Do you know why I think that? Or she found out how to time travel because she did the at. No one did. That was not a thing in 1994.
Maybe they just
that
added
was not a thing in 1994. That was her handle. That was her fucking TikTok.
Dude, I don't think they're time traveling.
No,
I
that
think,
was her Twitter, dude.
I think they just assumed that we would all brush past those details.
Nah, dude.
That's my
There's no
guess.
way. That was on purpose. They focused on it.
They focused on it because of the fact that it was the name
You
that
think
was
so?
on the AOL.
You think I'm going too far into it?
I think you're looking a little too deep
We
into
both
it.
do
but
that sometimes.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think
fair.
so.
But
I think we're getting a newer one.
What gave it away to me that there'd be a new one and that there could be a sequel and that it would be more in the future is at the very, very end of the third movie, it shows the book again, like right before the credit roll, and then a hands just come and grab it real quick.
Oh, okay.
So someone else is going to make a deal with the devil.
Dude, I low-key think that she's from the fucking future, bro.
You sound like a conspiracy
I'm not
theorist
trying
right
to be
now.
a conspiracy theorist right now, but the at handle and the
I hope
solid
they
state
don't bring
drive
time
talk.
travel
There's
into
no
it.
way a person in the 90s had any info on solid state drives. I'm telling you.
If it happens, I'll be like, damn, you got me, checkmate.
It's
But I
gonna
hope
happen.
it doesn't. That doesn't sound as cool to me.
4 films doesn't sound as cool, and it could have ended the way it did, but there's no way they're not going to make another one.
I'd be
they're
down
gonna
for
make another
a
one.
sequel.
They're going to do it.
Which is weird to
A
say
sequel
because this is a trilogy.
You think they're going to do 3 more?
I'd watch them.
No, I know you're going to fucking watch them. Do you think they're going to do it?
If they do it, I'd be upset if they only did one, I think. They can't give me 6 hours of content.
1666 was so good.
I agree.
It was so good.
It was quality.
I thought it was going to be trash. That's why I think I like it so much.
Just because it
Do
exceeded
you have
your
a favorite one, or do you just love them all collectively?
78, probably.
78's your favorite.
Yeah, it
I
was
like
really
that.
good.
I really like that. We should watch Friday the 13th, man.
I'd be down. I probably won't like it as much, but I'll watch it.
Oh, hell no, because it's modernized. There is a Friday the 13th remake that came out in 2009.
I mean, you were saying it's not as character driven too. Like I really
no,
like that.
no, it's not.
What the hell is that sound?
It's my text tone. It's Friday the 13th. It's Jason.
Oh, geez, that was good timing then.
Yeah, it is.
But I really like the fact that you get so like attached to these characters, and then they just kill them off. It was really cool.
That is actually better than not even knowing them.
I liked like the not playful, but the banter that existed within them too. Like even in this scenario where there's a fucking killer axing heads off,
Yo,
Sadie and Nick are
I'ma
still
say
like
that-
playing pranks on the one girl, Sheila.
That's fucked. They were playing pranks on that bitch.
Yeah, and so like just the fact that within a movie where we're watching people get axed in the face, they're still showing like who these people are, and like it was really good.
It was too good. I loved 94, and I like the skull mask. I really like the skull mask incentive in 94 because it gave you a sense of identity. And 94, the identity was Ghostface, and you always knew Ghostface. And it was kind of a meta thing because you always knew Jason, you always knew Michael. Now you know Ghostface.
Is that your favorite of all the killers?
Damn, I didn't think I was going to be asked that.
Not Ghostface, but the skeleton dude. Like your
No, I
favorite
know.
of the-
I didn't think I was going to be asked which one I liked the most out of all the killers. Maybe. Yeah, he was kind of brutal.
I think
He
mine
was
would
kind
be.
of brutal. I might like Potato Sack just for the Jason.
I was gonna say
homage.
mine's either him or Rudy Lane.
Oh yeah.
She like not
she,
only-
went she wasn't even a killer then. She was just kind of an urban legend, you know.
but she still
But it
had
happened.
her appearances where she
she does have some.
she sliced the one guy's ankles at one point.
I hate that in movies. That makes me cringe. Doesn't that make you cringe a little bit?
It happened in the one that I just watched.
I know it
Candyland.
did. I've seen that
But,
movie 3 times. I'm sorry. I
Rudy
just let
Lane,
you know
like-
I've seen it 3 times.
She I've been playing Dead by Daylight a little bit, and there's a killer in Dead by Daylight
So
that
good.
hums when she's close.
She's fucking creepy,
and
dude.
Ruby Lane reminds me of her with her singing, and she's also fucking sexy to the point where it's like I might just
I
die.
want to kill her, but I want to kiss her.
Like I might just let her kill me. That might be a
It
turn
might
on.
be a thing, you don't know. Some people are into that.
It-
Okay, so this is totally sidetracked. I'm going to say this right now. Fuck you, Simon Brown. You told me I can't have any fucking beers because it's bad for me. This is Flying Dog Zen Blaster Active Ale. 1 gram. 1.5 grams of carbs, dude.
What do you think they had to put in to replace the carbs though?
Do you think this is loaded with fiber?
There's got to be something in it. I don't know.
It's low in alcohol, though, so I think they just didn't use that much wheat. Do you want to try it?
Sure.
It's
like
not bad for low carb beer. You'd think that it wouldn't have any taste at all.
If you have like an energy drink though that's 0 calorie, it's like what they had to put
Aspartame. They added a
something
lot
in-
of Splenda
yeah.
type shit in
So there's
it.
probably something that's
Yeah,
not
but there's
great
no
for us that
sugar
we
in
don't
beer.
understand.
It's just beer is brewed with like wheat. So it's hard. You're right. It's hard to like if it's wheat based. That's bread, you know.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I don't work there. I
Me
can
neither.
ask them. I should message them.
Text them.
I should. They're from Frederick, Maryland.
Damn.
Yeah, that's the same county Blair Witch happened.
That another thing I was wondering though about the killers is speaking of the other ones, do you think there could be a world where we got films about each individual one? Like could we get a film about Rudy Lane's massacre?
Yeah, I don't
Or-
see why not.
Well, one thing I guess
Spinoffs.
once I said it out loud, like her example
I
in
mean, this is a
particular-
book series, bro. There's
she,
probably fucking all that.
But Rudy, all her
You're not
killing
gonna
was
read it,
one
though.
little serial killer spree. She killed 7 people and then herself all like at once.
That's a whole movie.
That's not a whole movie though.
No,
it
there's
was
a-
like all really
There's
quick.
been
I
movies
believe.
that are longer with lower kill count.
I thought it like all happened simultaneously. Like
Like a
she
massacre?
killed. Yeah, like the way in.
yeah, but you don't know. You weren't there.
I believe that's how they described it
Okay,
though.
never mind. That.
Because I think it occurred in a barber shop. There's no way
Oh,
that like
damn.
yeah,
That could be brutal.
That's why she uses a razor as the weapon.
Damn.
And so I believe it all like was encompassed within probably like a 20-minute period of like real time. I don't know how they stretch that to a 2-hour movie.
God damn. Yeah, probably not.
And
Probably
we,
a scene.
we see that the possessing of them happens kind of quick too after
It's cool that they're possessed. I like that. Like
they're
are they possessed by the spirit of Sarah Fear or
no
fucking
Satan.
Nick Good?
Nick Good is not Nick,
He's the
just
possessee?
Nick, but yeah, the
Dope.
his lineage Solomon was the first one. He had to go down there and his sacrifice to the devil is he gives a person's name and the devil takes that person. And so Solomon gave the priest in 66. That's why he locked all the kids in there and gouged their eyes because he was controlled by the devil.
That was
Solomon
I
gave
like
him
that
away.
homage to Jeepers Creepers. You gotta
I
see Jeepers
I figured that
Creepers.
was from something.
Yeah,
but I
Jeepers
didn't know
Creepers.
what.
You got to see it. But how okay, so you know in 66 or 1994 part 2 where they go through the cave, they figure everything out and then a stairwell unlocks and then they go up and then they go into this house. Whose fucking house is that? Is that good? Sheriff
that's
Good's
Good's
house.
house. That's
Oh
Good's house.
shit.
And if you
the whole time I was like, whose house is that? And I saw someone in the car bolting the fuck out. Was that Good? Was that Sheriff Good?
wait, across the street?
Yeah.
No, those are just random people. Good was
No,
already
the guy that
killed
was
at this
peeling
point.
out that got hit by the truck.
Yeah, that was just random neighbors.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
So Good at this point was already killed.
Oh,
he was in the
okay.
mall scene killed. But the reason that led to his house is because it
was him.
The setting is the same setting as 66 though, where Solomon had a trap door from his house.
Oh,
that
so
led
it was
there.
just inherited over
Yeah, that's
time.
the exact same
God
house that
damn,
they've
that's
had
some
for
fucking
generations.
lineage, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, no, there's not a lot of lineage that goes back that far.
That's his great grandfather.
Oh my
There's
God.
There's is like a tie with Satan, and
God
I think that
damn.
Nick at first didn't want this for his life because
Probably not.
They brought up that he didn't want to follow in his father's footsteps, and I think when he decided to turn his back on
wait, how did his
Ziggy,
father die?
They don't tell us that. And I don't.
That's something we need to know.
I wonder why he died soon or early on in his life too, because of the fact that
That's
he had
sus.
ties to the devil.
Yeah, that's sus.
Maybe I don't
That's
know
a
what
story
could have
I want
happened.
to know.
That would be a cool way for them to bring it to give us more
It's
information.
a novel series, so there's obviously going to be other shit.
Mm-hmm.
But are they going to do it?
I
You
hope
think there's a demand? I think there is.
There's one person here
My
that
man
really
Jason,
wanted
who's
it.
really into films, and he loves this series. He loves
Hell
it.
yeah.
He loves it. He told me, he's like, have you seen Fear Street yet? Have you seen Fear Street yet? Have you seen Fear Street yet? I was like, dog, I'm going to see it.
Chill,
right?
chill.
It came out like an hour ago. No,
I'm glad that I'm not the only one fucking
Dude, he
obsessed
fucking
with it.
loves it.
It's so good.
I love it too. I love it. You could tell that the people made this really care about horror. They took all their influence from all the films.
You see that
love.
more as a guy that's watched a bunch of them.
Oh yeah, definitely. So that's one reason why I liked it. I liked it that it paid attention to detail for horror lovers, 90s horror lovers, 80s horror, late 70s. Because honestly, the first Friday the 13th came out in 1980.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they picked 1978. Who really gives a fuck? No one cares.
To show they did it first.
Oh, they did it. Right. But the late 70s, early 80s, that's when slasher started, about 78. So 78, 77. But it paid attention to detail for those lovers. But at the same time, if you're not really into that, they brought you in as well.
Almost
that
makes me want to check out other films like that.
Yeah, dude. You are literally saying, you literally messaged me and said, dog, can we start Spooktober early? Right as I was typing, we should start Spooktober early. I was like, holy shit. Like, I didn't say that at the time when we were messaging each other.
But you thought it?
I did. I was like, I was literally texting it when you sent it.
Dude, I loved this. It's got me in like.
So Spooktober is now
overdrive
going to be
of one-
September and October.
Hell yeah.
And we're going to get there like swimwear. We're going to be in there like swimwear.
There's going to be 87 podcasts this month.
I hope there's a lot because I love horror.
There's a lot of good ones coming out in October in theaters too. I saw 3 ads
there's
that
so many. Usually there's not, which is weird because it's you know why I think? Because there's only a couple that come out in October. And I feel like COVID, like the year and a half where we didn't have theaters, a lot of horror films waited.
So like, fuck it, we'll drop in 2021.
Like Halloween Kills has been ready since like last July.
Mm-hmm.
It's been done.
And so now
It's been delayed. Candyman's been delayed.
So we're just gonna get a nice October season.
Yeah. What all is coming out?
There's the Michael Myers one that I want to see.
Halloween Kills is coming out. Done
There
by
was
Blumhouse.
one that was.
You haven't to see the first one.
There was one that I cannot think of the fucking name, but it was like a girl that was like seeing flashes from the past. You know what that was
Last Night
called?
in Soho.
Yeah, that looks like a good
We already
film.
talked about this on the podcast.
We did?
That's done by Edgar Wright, who I wanted to do our first rabbit hole with.
Oh,
I'm just
sick.
taking the mic now.
Sick.
I like how this feels.
But yeah, that looked like a fucking good movie, and I want to see it.
The guy has made great film. He's made Shaun of the Dead. It's his first.
Are all his spooky?
He's from the UK. No, he actually does it. He has a good broad
A nice resume.
catalog.
Film.
Yeah, he has a great dude. He hasn't made a bad film. He's never made a bad film.
We'll have to watch some
He
of them. At
did.
least the spooky
We're gonna
ones
go
this
through
month.
his rabbit hole, and after we watch Last Night in Soho, we'll rank them all.
Hell yeah.
Because we got Shaun of the Dead, his first film, iconic. He's from the UK, so it's like British films. We'll do Shaun of the Dead, then Hot Fuzz, then This Is the End. I've never seen This Is the End. It's James Franco. Who's the guy that does films with James? Seth Rogen.
You're asking the wrong guy.
Oh man, Seth Rogen, all those guys. Jonah Hill. It's like a comedy, kind of.
Mhm.
But and then there's Hot Fuzz, which is a fucking phenomenal film. Ant-Man. I've never seen This Is the End. I'll wait till we see it together because I have to see a new movie once in a while.
Yeah.
Like I can't watch the movie 20
That's
times.
where doing these ones is kind of cool though.
Yeah, so I'll wait for us to watch This Is the End, and then we'll watch Last Night in Soho. Last Night in Soho seems like what I would like to call, just seeing the trailer, I was like, had a perfect name for the subgenre of horror. I watched this trailer and felt so inspired. Did you see the trailer?
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel about it? What do you feel about it?
It
Are you
looks
excited for
phenomenal.
it? It looks
yeah,
so good.
I just really want to see it.
I have a perfect word for it.
Hmm.
Glam horror.
That fits.
Like if Lady Gaga was a horror director, you know? It looks so fucking good. And I'm excited he did Baby Driver.
I'm glad that you said Lady Gaga. It made me think of the Kanye West quote.
Kanye!
Where he's like, what the fuck Lady Gaga know about cameras?
I fucking love Kanye. And I love
He's
Lady
got a
Gaga.
new album.
Dude,
if only that were
I
a
haven't
movie.
listened to it.
If only that were a movie.
You know who showed up to his album release in a wedding dress? Kim Kardashian.
Yo,
They divorced.
Oh shit!
So she showed up to renew their marriage.
Really?
Like out of pocket. Like he didn't even know it was gonna happen.
What a
She
psycho.
just showed up. That's toxic, I feel like.
It seems
Like
a
she's
little.
like, oh, he's making money now. You got
I'm back.
You got to drive. I'm back.
That's kind of
I'm
crazy.
back. She makes money though too, so whatever. She don't need him.
Yeah.
I just feel like that they shouldn't have broken up over some public bullshit. You know,
I don't know much about it, honestly.
this is some public bullshit. He just kind of wilds out sometimes, but that's Kanye. You guys got to realize, y'all hate Kanye, but y'all got to realize Kanye wilds out sometimes, and it's okay to wild out sometimes.
Kanye's the GOAT. Next president, 2024.
Next president. You can wild out, Kanye. We're okay with it. Just don't say some dumb shit. No, it's okay. You can say some dumb shit.
One thing I was thinking in regards to horror films, dude, when are you going to start writing a script?
I'm going to text the dude after this.
I'm trying to act in one. Let's go.
I'm trying to make a horror film, me and my man Jason, called His Woods.
Real quick, go into that, but one other thing I wanted to say. Jason, if you're watching, you should be on here sometime soon. I feel like that would be fun.
Yeah, we will
I don't
do
think
that.
I've got to meet him yet.
No, you haven't. He has to do, we have to do an October one because his favorite movie of all time is the first Halloween and The Thing. Both are horror.
I would watch either, just hopefully it's not
we
one I
gotta,
hate.
we got to do it in his theater, dog.
You hear this, Jason?
We got to do it in your theater, and we got to do it with beer.
Yeah, let's go.
And then do the cast right after.
That would be sick.
Because me and him, when we do it, we basically have a podcast without recording it. We talk about like
Everything that just went
Yeah.
down. We'll just bring the mics.
And I've never seen The Thing. It's a horror classic, and everyone has it on their top 3.
And you
never
haven't even seen it?
I've never seen it.
Well, we'll be at your crib, Jason. Get ready.
Get
We're
ready,
coming to watch
boy.
it. But in regards to yours, when are you doing it?
We want to do a film. I'll talk to him. I honestly thought it was going to start in June.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, and June is gone.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to
So now it's whenever.
Because I honestly have been wanting to make a horror film my whole life, and I am not one of those people that is really into film where if I make a horror film and get successful, I'm going to try and make a superhero movie or another movie. I don't have a problem with being the horror guy.
Yeah, you'll
And people have that problem.
do what you like doing.
Yeah, people have that problem. Stephen King didn't want to become the horror guy. Guess what, dude? You're the fucking horror guy.
And why is that a bad thing?
Why?
I mean, I get not want to be locked in a box. Like
I think back in the day it was a bad thing because anyone could do it. But now, since horror is so cliche, it really takes someone very talented to pull it off.
Mhm.
Because it's such a cliche that we need a new idea. And it's so hard to come up with a new idea with horror where you don't really have to come up with a new idea. You just have to come up with that idea your way.
Yeah,
You don't have to-
An example would be 78. Like
Exactly,
you were saying.
70. This whole thing is a fucking rip-off of fucking Friday the 13th and Scream.
It's just a love baby of every movie, but executed their way.
Yeah, and we fucking love it. What'd you give it?
5
Is that still a thing?
across
all
the
three?
board. Yeah, dude, phenomenal. It's my favorite horror.
Do you have a
movies I've
ranking
ever
list for
watched.
all of them? Do you like any others better than the other? Give me a list.
I guess 78's a 5+, but
like
then
78 and then 94 and 66 are tied because they're kind of the same movie.
Yeah,
That's why I think of it as a miniseries. They shouldn't have did that.
I look at it as one huge movie that you could take breaks during.
I think if it was a miniseries, we wouldn't be talking about it on this podcast.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a film. And also,
Yeah.
I think a miniseries would have been a little different. Like
It would have been.
just, I like the idea of one continuous story. It's 3 different stories told. So
Well,
it
there's going to
makes
be a
sense
fourth
to
one,
be-
definitely. I feel like they're going to do another trilogy or a fourth one. I feel like maybe another trilogy because
Whatever they do, I'll be happy.
yeah, it's going to be good. I just thought the futuristic thing was like a thing.
I still think you're crazy.
Really?
Dude, I'm telling
I don't
you.
think I'm crazy, dog.
What do you guys think?
They think I'm crazy. I don't know. I feel like some people. I might look it up because I
See if anyone
didn't
else has that
finish
idea.
66 until today because like I watched half of it twice because I watched it, and then when part 94 part 2 came, I was like, oh, can't watch this. Sarah hasn't seen it. Click off.
Mm-hmm.
We'll watch it some other time when you watch the others. And then you hit me up and you got so excited. I'm like, yeah, it's good. I totally watched it. And then I remembered I didn't watch the whole thing.
You're like,
So
fuck, I gotta
yesterday
watch
I
this
watched
real
the
quick.
whole thing, and then today I watched the second half again.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched all 3 the one time, and then I watched the second half of 66 just to
Like a
earlier,
refresher?
like literally a couple hours ago, because we didn't end up going to see Shang-Chi. We were going to, but we didn't. I forget why.
It's probably best. It would have made this be a little more delayed, probably.
Yeah, because it's a 2.5 hour movie. Yours was only an hour and a half, which we're going
Yeah.
to talk about that movie too.
For real. So if you're watching this one, Candyland is next.
I'm not even gonna change. Y'all just gonna be like, yo, they didn't even change.
I might
clothes.
take this top off just so you're unsure.
I have Planet Fitness under this. Oh no, Wu-Tang.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
So you have any closing thoughts, or is this it? What do you rank it? Actually, still 4s.
Should I rank? I'm gonna give them all 4s.
So like a 4 as a series too.
Yeah. More towards 4.5.
All right.
I'm gonna rank them at. Honestly, I think they're all tied. They're all great. It's hard to rank them because I love 66,
Mm-hmm.
and I just wish 66 was standalone. That's all.
I think it's a fair thing.
78 's
I was
great,
fine with the
94
way
is
it
great.
But I also could definitely understand.
I
why
thought
you
it was
want
going to be way worse when I saw it because when I thought Fear Street and I said R.L. Stein, I thought it was going to be on some Twilight shit. It was good.
Any closing thoughts? Anything?
Horror's back, baby.
Hell yeah! All right. Thank you guys for
Horror
watching.
shoots, baby. All of them.
All of them.
We can't do Freddy. That's a lot of makeup.
Make sure you like and subscribe though for us doing Freddy makeup.
Like, subscribe our YouTube now because we're doing video now.
But yeah, if you're hearing this not on video, go to YouTube and like and subscribe. Let us know what you thought in the comment section below. You know.
Yeah, talk about how you liked it because we want to hear what all 3 of you, got to say.
Hell yeah.
Later.
Bye guys.
One love.